course it makes sense. Listen, this would also happen if St. Pierre was very serious about it. I don't know about that, but Aaron, let's just try to get in the mind of George, because George does do things his own way as well. And while they're a little bit more professional, above board than maybe some of the other guys we talked about, it's an interesting piece of George's psychology, because he's always the one to push and deflect. He never comes out and says, I want to do a fight. He never does. He's the one that has to be begged. He has to be prompted by the promoters. The managers get involved. The fans get involved. I mean, it takes so much to get George St. Pierre to the table. So the fact that he has come out and made this statement, for me, call me a mark, but I took it as pretty sincere. I know he has had his eye on that weight class for a while, and I know that because he was even brought to a UFC where he thought he was going to have a face-off with Conor McGregor. It ended up not happening. But he's had his eye on Conor. I think that he prefers the Conor matchup to the Khabib. That's me speculating and watching George's style, and I can see why he would come to that conclusion. I don't think this is all smoke and mirrors. At the same time, Errol, I must be honest with you, I do not feel that it has a lot of legs. And I know Dana White, at least publicly, has played this exactly correct, which is to say no chance, because it would crush and devastate the morale within the back. But ultimately, you and I know, Errol, call it Conor. Come on, Ariel. He signs the fight.
Shout out to Chael Sonnen. Shout out to Ariel Helwani. Please watch their show on ESPN. I tend to click in once in a few days. I think they release every day, if not every couple of days. I'm not sure, but I've heard a few of their debates / conversations. When Chael Sonnen says something, 8 times out of 10 when it comes to MMA, it's literal MMA gold. What I mean by that is, it usually comes to fruition in ways that, even MMA fans don't recognize. Like, for instance, he said verbatim that, what's his name? John Jones is going to be suspended for 4 years, right? Unless something comes up in some way, shape, or form that proves that he wasn't taking such and such for his alleged suspension, right? And he kept on hammering that point up until, the recent trial. You know what happened. The reason why I use that as an example is Chael Sonnen has trained with George St. Pierre. Chael Sonnen probably knows George St. Pierre on some level, on a personal level, right? So if he's the one to say that George is the one who always pushes back with fights, but now he's pushing for one, clearly he has assessed George's behavior. Right? And it honestly makes economical sense. Economical sense for economical. That doesn't sound right. In any case, it makes monetary sense. Why? $4 billion loan, ladies and gentlemen. That's a heavy loan to pay off. And I know most people like pointing out to that, but I will add this, right? Last year was the UFC's highest grossing year. They grossed, I think, $700 million, mostly due to the McGregor-Mayweather debacle, right? And 700 mil should, I don't want to say should ease the tension in the room in terms of paying back that loan. I suggest that, I think that this fight, this series of fights that are going to happen, Khabib, Conor. If Conor wins, McGregor versus GSP. If Khabib wins, Khabib versus GSP. If these series of fights are marketed and promoted as well as they can be, you are talking about easily the second biggest, if not the biggest year in the UFC's history. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I am out.
By unanimous decision. I see you walking around, you've been screaming George, even though you just beat BJ Penn in an outstanding fight. What's on your mind right now?
I don't think George is hurt. I think he's scared. I think he's scared to fight everybody right now. What's up? Where you at, George?
This is obviously